Hey guys, Jawsh here from VIP Airsoft. Today I'm going to be doing another PolarStar Jack video kind of segment. Today I'm going to be doing kind of a comparison between the PolarStar Jack, which as you saw our last video is one of the newer items we've got in comparison to the PolarStar Fusion Engine. Okay, this is the version 2 Gen 3. Okay, so it's the most modern model of it. What I did is I installed two of them, one in each of our rentals. They're using rental hop-up units, obviously rental uppers. So what we wanted to see was what's the FPS difference and what things we saw of them to make them a difference and make you justify spending more or less. So without further ado, what we're going to do is actually jump out to the chrono. You're going to see what the FPS is, and then we're going to head back here and I'm going to explain what exactly happened. Alright guys, I'm out here at the chrono. I'm going to be just doing the tests on the PolarStar Jack as well as the Fusion Engine. I'm going to get a chrono for you just to kind of see where the FPS is. Right now we're going to be chronoing at, what are we at? We are at about 90 PSI. We're using a red line rig. Yeah, so, and then we're also going to be using 0.20 weight BBs. They're going to be our greenhouse BBs, okay? So we're going to use those and test them. So first things first, I'm going to start with the Fusion Engine. Alright, on this one, looks like we're at about 240 to 250. Again, 80 PSI, 0.20 BBs. Granted, that may seem a little low, but it's because the hop-up units in these are from rental, so they're kind of used. Alright, so next thing we're going to do the PolarStar Jack. Sorry, just testing to make sure the battery's all good. Sounds like it is. Wow, all right. You guys see this right here, 355. Same PSI, 90 PSI, but it gets what, about 90 to 100 PSI, or I'm sorry, feet per second more than that. That's pretty cool. So again, we're at 90 PSI, 0.208 BB, nothing else special, no different contraption or a different special hop-up unit. It's all the same.
Yep.
Alright guys, so to see if maybe the hop-up units are given a reason that the FPS is jumping, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the uppers real quick, and I'll take the one from the Jack, put it on the engine, take the one from the engine and put it on the Jack, and see if we get any FPS difference, okay? We're at, what are we at PSI wise? We're about at, this one just keeps fluctuating a little bit, so we're at about 70 to 80. Let's see where we get. Yep, 70 to 80 PSI. Again, 0.208 BBs. What did I say? Well, okay, we're at 80 PSI. Let's see what we get. Alright, something went wrong with that one. So let's set this aside real quick, put this one and see what happened with the other one. And this is the Jack. Okay, so the Jack with the old, or I shouldn't say old, but the Fusion Engine hop-up unit, 340, so dropped maybe 10 FPS, not enough to be a big issue. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on with the Fusion Engine pop-up unit real quick. Alright, looks like something bound up in here. And again, remember, this is the one that was inside of the Jack, so it's not like it was something specific that was to one gun. So let's see if maybe we can just put it back in here and shoot it again, see what's going on. Alright, our bucking may be gone in this one. So I can't really give you an idea to show you, but something that happens with them. So let's just jump back inside of the lounge and we'll go over and see if I can figure out what happened to that, alright? Alright guys, you saw our chrono. So if you recall what we were about with the PolarStar Fusion Engine. We're looking about 240, 250, okay? That's what you're looking at with what we said, I believe 90 PSI, 80 to 90 PSI area with a .20 BB. The jack, what you saw out of that is about 350. 350, .20, 80 to 90 PSI, okay? In defense real quick, my regulator isn't the best, all right? The regulator's okay, it's been used a lot. Redline makes a great regulator, but it's just it has a lot of use to it. So there's a little bit of fluctuation there. The tank, it's a normal tank, all right? I'm not gonna see much of a difference in that. And then we are using compressed nitrogen instead of compressed air. There shouldn't be a difference in that. So that, with knowing what it is, you saw that FPS jump. Now, a couple other things that I noticed throughout just testing them, seeing what's going on with them, is that the jacks seem to be actually kind of quieter. So that's one thing that I noticed right away. I had to actually listen to see if I could hear the solenoid going off. So with that, that's one thing that I saw. But they're both running pretty cool, pretty good. That's one thing with the jack that I saw, was that. I honestly don't know why there was such a low FPS difference. If you saw, one of the hop-up units actually ended up getting a BB stuck in there, okay? If I'm not mistaken, that was the one that was on the PolarStar, okay? But we used this hop-up unit, which worked on both of them, and the jack still kept the same FPS, maybe dropped 10, okay? So 10 FPS dropped by just changing out the unit. But you still saw the one that did that. So real quick, I'm gonna open up the one that was on the PolarStar in the last test, and I'm gonna show you exactly what happened. All right, so you see right there, what happened is that the lip right here was bent down. One common thing you will see with any HPA system, and I may get yelled at for saying any, but almost all of them, is sometimes the buckings will flip in. It's because you're throwing a lot of air through the bucking. You need to get a nice bucking for it. So with us using a rental bucking, it flipped, okay? It may need to be replaced. We may be able to get a few more shots out of it. But it doesn't matter, because we used both of this hop-up unit in the jack as well as PolarStar, and you saw it didn't matter. So this, with this gun, this hop-up unit with the jack still shot 340 feet per second, which is still 80 to 90 feet per second higher than what the PolarStar shot. So what I'm trying to get out of all this is where do you want to spend the money at? Do you want to spend it on externals, or do you want to spend it on your internals? The Fusion engine is more expensive, yes it is, but you do get the full engine. As you can see, it's got a nice sleek look. You can change the nozzles. There's more upgrade parts. There's not in the jack. But if you're wanting to get into the HPA game and be able to use it, it's a great option because it is very inexpensive. Couple things I'm noticing, like I said, they're quieter. That's one thing I was noticing. This one, being the jack, what I like about it, because it uses the original gearbox housing, some issues you may have with any PolarStar is compatibility, because what you have to do is sometimes the selector plate doesn't work. I had to swap out the selector plate on this one. I had to swap it out for a G&G one. Yes, I could have cut the selector plate. That is one of the modifications you can do, but it's a brand new Fusion engine. I don't want to cut it, so I had to swap the selector plate. Yeah, it's a little thing, but for me, in time frame, I still had to do not as much work, but still some work to get it in here. So it's really your choice. I personally am impressed with the jack. We took it up to 100 PSI off screen before we even started anything. Justin and I were in the back testing it. It broke 450 with 100 PSI. That's a lot. So if you're wanting to build a DMR, and this is just a small scenario, you want to build a DMR, you want something that gets you some nice range and nice FPS, the jack is probably a system for you. Because let's say you throw it in an M4. All right, we're gonna make a DMR out of an M4. Standard M4 mags like that. You can run it like that. That's actually really cool. So that's one thing that I really like about the jack. Not hating on the Fusion engine. The Fusion engine is great. It's a great system, but there are some more modifications with it, but there is more upgrades for it. One thing I like saying with the nozzles. So let's say you wanted a longer, different nozzle, you want to put in a SCAR. it's going to be something you can do with this. I don't believe there are nozzles for the jack yet. So those are just a couple things that I've seen with this. They're really cool systems. The more and more I mess with them, the more and more I learn about them. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email, send us a Facebook message, give us a call, come on in, whichever one you want. We're probably going to be doing another video some time soon. I'm going to show you exactly how to install the jack into one of the guns. I'll probably just end up doing it under rental, but that way if you guys have any questions on how to install, we'll go ahead and get that one done. But other than that, guys, have a good day.